Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. That's some of my replays, and I'm in the Cleveland, at Tier 8 US Cruiser. I'm on map Mountain Range. It's a 3-point domination game. Tier 10 battle, which is unfortunate, but there is neither a sub nor carrier. Well, actually there is a Halford, which is a half carrier. That's currently in testing. So I guess there is that. Now there is also a set 23 that's nice and shootable, and hopefully no battleship will utterly wreck me while I'm sailing around here. Now it's outside of my range. There is the Halford. It has already launched its planes, and those planes are probably going to be spotting Viper, which is a shame. Now I've made it behind this island. When we look at the minimap, you can see the set is barely inside my radar range, if it's still there. So I might be able to catch it. So let's try, and I found a lot more than this set. Yeah, that's curious. Now I can't actually shoot this set, and since I'm reversing now to get around here, it might leave the radar range. But I am radaring the Halford and the Colbert and the Ibuki, so we get a lot of other information. So let's ignore this set for now and see if we can't do something else. This is interesting because, like the enemy battleship, you see the Yamato, it's in the J line. The battleship has retreated to the J line full health, while all the other ships are actually very aggressively pushing in. Now the good news is, without the battleship's backup, we can counter push a lot more effectively. And I am creeping around here. My Hydro is running. This Halford is going to be Hydro for foreseeable future, and it's getting farmed by our Neptune here. I'm trying to get a piece of that as well. Of course, I gotta be careful that I'm not going too far around this island, or otherwise I'll eat the fish. That would be like really embarrassing, like eating a hawk here. That would be really embarrassing, but I didn't. Okay, so the Colbert should be taken out by my team behind me, and I briefly saw the destroyer and switched to that, but the Ibuki is really just the biggest issue. So the Ibuki is charging a Viper, so I'm sort of counter pushing. Ibuki does have torpedoes. I do still have Hydro running, and there don't seem to be any just yet. It's also going full broadside, so we are going armor piercing. And you know, Cleveland's armor piercing might not be the best, but in this case it's somewhat delivered, and my team did as well. Now, the Halford still has planes in there, of course it does. So, I feel like that Halford might have been a little bit too aggressive there. Probably not the kind of destroyer that you want to take into it that heavily. Of course, the main problem the enemy had was that the battleship just basically abandoned them all and sent in the back. Like, when you look at the minimap, you can see an utter slaughter here. Like 4 enemy ships have been lost here and 2 friendlies. Now, if that Yamato would have been closer, I'd be dead. Not sure what would have happened to the Republic, but like the enemy would have done certainly a lot better. Now, I do have a radar ready again, and there is a Minotaur in a smoke screen. What I don't currently have is a Hydro. Now I'm trying to slide past this island, might happen eventually. And I'm going to go armor piercing, cause the Minotaur is broadside. Now it's a Minotaur, it might torp, and since it's a Minotaur it can single launch torp. Now there is a bit of a risk here, right? If it's single launched all in front of this island, and I go forward, then something could happen. Now look at that, the Yamato started this game with sailing the J-line when it had a lot of support, and now that it's basically alone, it has actually entered the fight. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's entered the fight, but it's at least slightly pressed. Oh, is it shooting me now? That's bad. But that Minotaur is still broadside, and the Yamato missed.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
The first contribution to this fight this Yamato has done, and it missed. And that Minotaur is dead. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have the usual things. The cap hasn't really been taken yet. And, well, the enemy team is slightly aggressive there. Our team is just sitting in the back. And, well, I have at least stopped the enemy from taking cap so far, I guess. But meanwhile, the game has been decided, I think, on our side, right? Because the enemy team failed to get a cap so far. They're down to 65 points. They've lost half of their ships. And it's going to be very hard for them to try to come back there. Unless, like, 3 or 4 ships of our team just instantly evaporate. I mean, I could instantly evaporate, mind you. The Yu Yang here is low as well. Viper is... SJR is low here too. So technically, something could happen, but it seems relatively unlikely. Meanwhile, this Yamato, it came so close to almost doing something, but it didn't want to risk it, so it's running again. And hello, gearing. Now, the Yamato can't shoot me just yet, so let's get a salvo into this gearing. And... gearing is probably pretty dead. There you go. Now SJR is also providing a smoke screen, so I can farm this Yamato a little bit, as the Yamato is just... once again sailing away. So, at this point, this battle is decided. Let's not kid ourselves, the enemy is down to 5 ships and 20 points. And the Yamato is on fire. So yeah, this has been a pretty fast one so far, but it was just utterly hilarious at sea, I have to say. And now I can just farm a little bit more damage. And, you know, that's the most useful this Yamato has been so far. It's providing some food for me. It also seems to be slightly on fire, although I don't think those are my fires right now. So that's a shame. Might be some fish going in. Since the enemy is at 20 points, it's just about which ship is going to be sunk here. Well, it wasn't the Yamato, so that one survived. And yeah, this was fun. Quick but fun, and not the sort of battle I imagined to find in a tier 10 game with a Cleveland. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a giggle along the way, and I'll see you next time.